Okay, everybody, the day has come. We're gonna make hay with our Clydesdale. So in actuality, all we're gonna do is try to rake a little bit. It's pretty hot to work him very long because these are not hot weather climate horses. And we're just getting started using him to do farm work. So we're doing most of it with the tractor. But we're gonna go out there and see how he does and do a little bit of raking hay right now.
Yep. Okay, so in just a little bit, we're going to go see Oliver raking the hay, but I thought I would take you back to the day before when we first started the haying process. I know a lot of you grew up on farms, a lot of our viewers did, but then some of our viewers, they have never experienced this. So we wanted to make sure to show you all the whole process from start to finish. So in the past, we have made hay, but the last couple years, we started to buy hay. But with as many horses as we have, you can imagine that gets pricey really fast. JR and his mom got together recently and decided it would be worth it to try to make our own hay once again. So JR ended up spending quite a bit of time over the winter searching for new equipment. Not new equipment, but new to us. Definitely used, and he put a lot of work and time into getting it ready, making sure everything was working as it needed to be to get the job done. So if you're not familiar with the haying process, the equipment, what JR is doing here, it's the first step to doing hay, and you basically have to cut the grass, mow the grass. This is the hay mower. Once your hay field is cut, basically you just let the grass lay for a little bit and dry. Then you come back through and you rake the grass, and then you let it dry a little bit more, and then you start baling it. And we're going to show you that whole process in this video. So we actually have 3 different fields we're going to be getting hay off of. They're all on Grandma and Grandpa's field in this valley. This is the front field. And then way back there between the 2 hills are the other 2 fields we'll be cutting hay from. So doing hay is actually not a one-day process. It usually takes about 3 days or more. There's always breakdowns and different things like that. The mower actually broke down after getting that first field cut. Long story short, the gearbox broke, which is not an easy fix. So this is the following day, and I was actually heading out to the 2 back fields where JR had been cutting. After the first fix, the mower had broken down a second time. Thankfully, it was a much smaller issue this time though, and between JR and Isaac working on it, they had it up and running within an hour, and we were able to finish cutting the 2 back fields. Here he comes. So he got that second field cut, and it's still going, and this is the last little section that we have. It's not very big, but it'll make a little bit of hay at least. Looks like it's working good. Now that the hay is cut, the following afternoon it will dry in the afternoon sun, and then we will start raking.
This is a wheel-driven hay rake, meaning that the wheels in contact with the ground power the gears of the hay tine so that it can grab the hay and flip it over. So once the hay was mowed with the mower conditioner, it's left in windrows like this. Then we go through the windrows and the hay rake rolls it over so that the underside of the hay gets a chance to dry to the same level as the top of the hay is. So it's pretty crucial. You have to do it. It also lets you combine the windrows into like maybe 2 windrows if they were kind of thin grass, so that the hay baler doesn't have to go up and down each individual windrow. And that's what I'm doing here with Oliver.
Okay, walk. Walk. Good boy. Walk that
Oliver is getting so big and powerful that he had no problem pulling this. However, it really is kind of too big of a load for an individual horse to do for a long period of time. So we only did this a little while just kind of as a proof of concept. In the future, I'll need a team of horses if I want to do a full field like this. Those of you that know Oliver well will be not surprised that the clanking and the turning and the noise of the hay rake did not bother him at all. He never gave it a second thought. He just went straight to work. His first lap was as good as his last lap on this. Pretty proud of him. We worked out here just long enough to try a few different approaches to raking the hay. The rake worked the best if Oliver was directly on top of the windrow, which would wear him out faster having to walk through the thick cut hay. So we ended up just usually raking from the side. If there was a team of horses, one could be on each side of the windrow and then the rake would be in the perfect position. But like I said, this was kind of an experiment and the first year trying to use Oliver to make hay, but we will get better at it in the future.
Right there. Get up. Good boy. Once we get it going, it's a little bit easier, but to start all them gears, it's pretty hard on one horse. This is more set up for a team. I'm not going to do very much. Walk. Good boy. Walk up. Get over there. Get up. Yep. He likes being right in it, which that's got to be harder on his feet. I'm trying to get him to walk right beside it. Get up, bud. Good boy. Let's try right there. Good boy. If I keep him to the right of it, there ain't as much gathering in the hay. It's an easier pull for him. Or as much in the rake back there, you know, just fluffing it up a little. Away. Away. Get up. All mentality, because when he's headed home, there's no problems pulling it. He says it feels a lot heavier pulling it away from home than it does pulling it towards home. Good boy. Get up. Get up. Hip. Get up.
For those of you that'll be worried about how sweaty he looks, just know that I knew it was warm out, so we drenched him with water right before we started to do this. We hosed him down real good to keep him cool. So that's not all sweat. And as soon as he started getting real hot, I quit.
What a good boy, Oliver. Takes a lot of power to pull this. We'll be done after this row. I'll do the rest with the tractor. This was just a little exercise to see how it worked, see how this rake worked, see if it was too much weight for one horse. Probably is, but someday him and Natty can pull it together. Then we'll do the whole field. Not hard at all, Em, when he's pulling it towards the house. It's very light going towards home. Going away from home is so heavy. Oh. Stand there, bud.
Oh, you're hot, buddy, aren't you? Stand, stand. Once Oliver was all done raking, we headed back to the barn, and it was so hot out we decided we better cool him down and spray him off, and we're going to show you that here in just a little bit. But first, let's finish doing hay and seeing that process. So this is the following day. The hay was raked into windmills. It had lain in the hot afternoon sun drying, so we knew it was fully dried and ready to bale. There's quite a bit of time spent prepping the baler before you actually begin. The machine needs to be tying the hay bales correctly. You want to make sure that your hay bales are the size that you want, because you can make them bigger or smaller. You would think all these machines are just hook up and go, but there's actually a lot of little adjustments and fine tunings and practice runs before you actually begin baling. This machine is the baler, and as you can see, it creates the hay bale. It's pretty much self-explanatory how it works. The hay is picked up in the front by the forks, compacted together, creating the hay bale, and then the machine ties the strings around the bale as it's pushing the bale out through the back. Once the fields are all baled, it's time to hook up the trailer and get them loaded so that we can get them in the hayloft and barns. And Grandma actually has a huge trailer this year, which is going to make a lot less loads, so it makes the whole process a lot easier. And another thing that we have this year is a hay accumulator. This is also Grandma's. JR and Grandma were so excited to use this. You basically slide it around, getting the hay bales in there, and then it will pick them up. And you can pick up 10 hay bales at a time. You can load up a trailer lickety-split and unload it with this little tool. Like before, we would drive the truck and trailer through the field and have multiple people throwing the hay bales up as we go. So a lot less time-consuming and so much easier. Jared and his mom saw one of these years ago, a couple years back, and I think they've had their eyes on one ever since. So they were very excited to get to use this. Once the trailer was loaded, it was time to unload it and put the hay in the barns. We started with our lean-to hay barn where the dry lot is, filling that first. Even though we have the hay accumulator making it a ton easier, there's still a lot of physically picking the hay bales up, stacking them. Oliver and Champ were right there the whole time watching as we stacked the hay. The machines don't bother them at all. They were more interested than anything, and I think they could smell that fresh cut hay, and we're hoping they would get a little bit, which of course they did. Once we filled the hay in the lean-to barn, we ended up putting a big pile in the back of our main barn before heading down to Grandma's to load up her hayloft. She has an old hay elevator that we're going to use and show you. It's kind of cool to watch how it works.
Everyone wants to see the elevator, how it works.
Yeah, the main thing is I got to keep myself going slow enough because it's only Becca stacking, and I keep forgetting and throwing more on there than she.
So Becca's up in the hayloft. So you just throw it on and it goes up.
Usually we have all 3 of our kids plus a couple friends helping stack hay, but this year it's just Becca. Isaac had surgery and Mary is out of town. So we are very thankful for all that Becca did to help us.
Good shape and the weight of these bales and how cube they are is very good compared to our old balers that we used to have. That's a very consistent bale. I really like it. A bit heavier too, so you're getting more for your, each bale. About right.
Okay, we'll go see Becca in the hayloft.
This is Grandma and Grandpa's old barn and hayloft. It's pretty cool. I've always loved old barns. Maybe someday we can do a tour of Grandma and Grandpa's barn, but for now, we'll just show you a little peek. Okay.
So we just got back, and it's really hot out, so I'm just starting with some cool water on the forelegs, or on the legs, the lower half, and getting those veins that stick out. Let it cool him down nice and slow so he doesn't get shocked. But here in a second, we'll move it on up to his belly and cool him off good. Did you get a treat?
Oh, I gave it to him already.
Oh, okay.
But he was looking for it from you. Maybe I should get him another. I think we should get him another one because he wanted it from you.
Okay.
He got 2 treats.
For a job well done. First time trial. That rake it's just a hair too heavy for him right now by himself. If it was winter time and it was all headed home and not any headed away from home where he was wanting to pull, he'd pull it no problem. But someday I'll have a teammate for him, and then we can rake hay better. Oh yeah, he's probably cool enough.
Yeah. You could put a fan on him for a bit. Okay, because it's so hot out, Oliver sweated quite a bit. We're gonna give him some electrolytes today in his grain. He already had breakfast this morning, but I'm gonna give him a little bit more now. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys up here really quick and look at the view of Oliver and Champ. Woo! Wow. Woo. Here's our new view. We can sit up there and watch them in the stall. Hi, boys. So, I actually came out here a second ago because JR had packed the hay all the way over here by the gate, and they had pulled quite a few bales down, as you can see. and they're making a mess. So I pulled about 10 back, and then I'm going to put the tarp up, kind of tuck it around, and hopefully that keeps them out. You stinkers. I'm not even feeding them extra hay today. They have to do some cleanup work. Can't even see it, but there's a whole bunch over there. Most of it's going to be ruined, but they'll eat some of it today. Ah, boys. So that pretty much sums up our 2024 hay season. There's still a lot more to do. We still need more hay, and we may even try to get a second cutting. But we were very thankful. Everything went as well as it did, and we got it all in under roofs, nice and dry. Make sure to give a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Don't forget to head over to our Patreon. Check us out there, see daily uploads, and we're also on Facebook. If you're on Facebook more, you can follow us there. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.